Look, this took a lot of analysts by surprise. What happened? So after 3 years of pretty, big fighting, you ended the deadlock. What were the main reasons for this?
Yeah, good morning. We have taken advantage of a unique window of opportunity to complete a transaction which basically puts an end to all the uncertainties linked with the Sika situation. And so, the agreement we have signed and closed this morning allows us to really do three things: deliver a very good financial result, remove all the uncertainties, and frees up to pursue our strategic goals. So I think it's a win-win-win deal for all parties, but especially for Saint-Gobain, clearly, since we can have a financial result which is going to be in excess of 600 million euros on the net result.
Sir, I'm not going to lie, this is a pretty complicated multi-step deal that was unveiled today, and I spent a little bit of time going through it. But at the end of the day, what are you going to do with that 10.75% stake?
We are very comfortable with being the largest shareholder of Sika and for the long term because, since from the beginning we have thought that Sika was an excellent company. We continue to think that. And the outcome of the deal, which is allowing us on one hand to get 600 million euros of net result and on the other hand to become the largest shareholder of Sika, is something we are very comfortable with. So you know that by contract the time horizon of this investment is at least 2 years. But at this stage, we are not. We have not made any decision on whether it could be longer term or it should stop there. It really is going to depend on how Sika is performing, and we are going to be, in our mind, a long-term shareholder.
But how will you collaborate? This is also a competitor.
The areas of competition between us are very limited, and this was also a disagreement between Sika and us. But that according to the antitrust regulations in Europe, we had to go to the European Commission to decide whether we were competing or not. And the European Commission, which is very neutral on that, decided that we were competing only on very small areas. So we are not really competitors. We are very much complementary. And this was the reason for us being very interested in collaborations with Sika. Thanks to this resolution of our conflict, we are now going to be in a much more cooperative mood, which means that we are going to be able to put in place actions together, business actions together, which hopefully are going to create value for both companies. So no, it's not going to be an issue because really the competition is much more a complementarity than a competition.
Okay, could you use any of the net gain from Sika to perhaps buy another company?
Excuse me? Can we use this gain to buy another company? We have since the last 3 years we have continued to do M&A with small and mid-sized acquisitions. We will obviously accelerate this activity in terms of M&A, mostly focused on small and mid-sized acquisitions with three categories in mind: new technologies, emerging markets, and consolidation of our strong position. So we will continue to do that, maybe accelerate a little bit, but really, this is a continuity of what we have been doing over the last few years.
Okay, would you be interested, or would you see as a priority growing your U.S. construction chemicals business?
I think construction chemicals is an area of interest for us, absolutely. We have already done a few acquisitions in this field over the last 2 years. We will continue to do that in all geographies. We have done one, for example, in Brazil last year. We will continue to do that in all geographies, including the U.S. The U.S. is clearly a country of interest for us, but no specific target to mention today.
All right, sir, thank you so much for making the time to speak to us today. That was the Saint-Gobain Chief Financial Officer, Guillaume Texier.